Welcome back to the Nikki Clarke Show. The show is about transforming lives one story at a time, and I'm always excited to invite people from all walks of life to come on and share their heart stories, stories of transformation and upliftment. And I'm very excited to introduce Sherri Stevens. Sherri Stevens is the owner and CEO of WXN and founder and president of SRG-USA. She's an award-winning entrepreneur, a visionary and lifelong advocate, and dedicated to the advancement of diversity and inclusivity in management, executive, and professional board roles. And she takes great pride in the crusade to support and inspire others to lead and use their collective impact to break barriers and shatter ceilings. Sherri, how are you doing today?
Great, Nikki. Thank you so much for inviting me on your show. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time. So let's get to it, please. Tell us a little bit about your background leading up to where you are today.
Okay, how long do you have?
Hey. About 20 minutes.
All right, yes. No, just very quickly, my life has taken many detours. When I was a child, I was very determined that I was going to be a flight attendant. So my father passed away when I was 5 years old. And my mom actually took me on my first trip to the Bahamas when I was 7. And we were on the airplane. I was just enamored by the flight attendants. I thought it looked like such a glamorous life. Traveling all over the place, and when I got home, I said, that's it. I am going to be a flight attendant. So my whole journey from age 7 to 19 was just geared towards becoming a flight attendant, and I actually did become one when I was 19. So my goal had been realized, and I was working for a charter airline at that point in time in Toronto called Worldways. Now that's really dating me, but it was a charter airline, and we flew mostly to Europe. So it was great for somebody who doesn't like to backpack but still got to see Europe when they're in their early teens and early 20s. So I did that for 2 years, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it, and I think that was one of the most depressing times in my life because I was so set to spend my life and my career as a flight attendant, and that did not pan out for me. So I had no idea. I was completely lost. I didn't know what to do. I had been living in Toronto for 8 years, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go home. I live in a little town called Woodstock, Ontario. And I went home. I moved in with my mom in her one-bedroom apartment, and I think I was in my pajamas for days, just crying and not knowing what I wanted to do. It was 1990. The recession had just started, so I thought, I don't know what to do. Maybe I can go work for a staffing company. So I looked in the Yellow Pages. Remember those Yellow Pages?
Yeah,
and
I do.
I looked in the Yellow Pages, and I saw there was one company in town. I thought, why is there only one? So something happened, and I don't know what it was, but my entrepreneurial spirit kicked in, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to give them a run for their money. I have nothing to lose. Right? I have no money. I have no job. I'm living with my mother at the age of 26. So I decided that I was going to start my own staffing company. And that's what I did I started when I was 26. I've had it now for almost 30 years.
Wow.
And it's done, that's my other life. That's not the WXN life. That's my other life. And we're in the U.S. as well now, in Mississippi. So, yeah, so that's kind of where my career took me. It wasn't expected at all, but I mean, that's life, right? You think you have a path, and then something happens, and it changes. So all in 1 year, I started a business. I got married right? And then things just started to happen, and we grew it to about a $25 million company. So it is a success story, but one that I did not venture on my own. I had a lot of great team members and people in the community who supported me through that journey.
Excellent. Well, I hear kind of parallels too, because as I was sharing, I started off teaching and then kind of veered into the show. Now, had I not taken a leap of faith to start the show, I wouldn't have this beautiful conversation with you, getting to know all about your journey. So it's a good thing, right, Sherri, to just go beyond fear and just go for it, and just let it happen, let things fall into alignment. It's a wonderful thing, and I'm so happy to hear about your success story. So tell me now about how the WXN, how that started, and what was the purpose behind that?
So WXN, I actually purchased WXN about almost 5 years ago now. And so I had my other organization, for almost 30 years, and I knew it like the back of my hand. The reason for starting SRG was very different. When I was 26, I needed money. I needed to pay a mortgage, right? We needed food on the table. We were very young. Yeah. And so that was what motivated me to really start SRG. And then as you get older, it changes, right? Because you have, you get the house and you get you get all those things that you want, but it's not always satisfying. There's always a greater purpose, I believe, for everybody's life, and I think you have to find it, and you have to sometimes really dig deep. And I was getting to that point in my life where it's like, okay, what's next for me? Where is my legacy? How do I give back now? I've gained so much experience. I've worked with so many people, and so many people have helped me along my journey. Now it's my turn to give that back. And this opportunity just all of a sudden became apparent. And it just became apparent, and I said, yeah, I think I want to purchase this organization. I love what it stands for. I am a Top 100 award winner. I was twice, 2006 and 2007 award winner, so I knew the organization quite well. And I believe in WXN. I believe what we're doing for women is very important, especially now. And I thought it would be an excellent opportunity, so I said, yes, absolutely, I want to try this. And I could say the rest was history, but it wasn't. This has been probably the hardest, most challenging, I'm going to say opportunity, but struggle that I've ever been through. And it's hard to explain, Nikki, because you think, okay, you're a business person, you've been in business, you've had a successful business. What do you mean? Like, how hard can this really be?
Right.
But it's very different having your own organization and growing it than adopting an organization, right? So I just felt kind of out of my scope for a little bit until I learned the business, right? Because I grew up in my business. Right? I knew my business. I was my business.
Right.
But when you buy another person's business, it's very different. And I wasn't prepared for that. I don't know why. I thought it would just be, walk in, do my thing, and be done with it. But that was not the case. So, yeah, it was just a very challenging time. My husband and I had just split up. My sister, my best friend, had just passed away.
Oh, my.
And then I acquired the business a week after my sister passed away. So just a lot of challenges, and And I think people look at people who they think are successful or they seem to be successful and they think they have it all together.
Yes, yes.
And then behind closed doors,
yeah, if they only knew.
Going to bed and crying.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, preaching to the choir. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's important. I think that's okay to say stuff like that. I really do. Because
it is.
None of us are perfect, right? We have our trials, we have our tribulations, and and it's how we pick ourselves up and how we move forward with that. I'm very passionate of what we do. Like, you can tell my voice. I'm very passionate about this.
Yes.
So and so that was kind of my first initial shock. And then once I started maneuvering through the business and figuring it out, and then it started to become mine, right? Then it started to feel like, okay, these are some of my ideas that I put into this organization. The team shifted, the team changed, the culture changed. It was a long road. It's been a long 5 years, but we're coming out the other end, and it feels good.
Awesome. So the show then looks at women, and it looks at certain qualities, right? And it awards women on what basis? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So the part of WXN is Canada's Most Powerful Women Top 100. It is our it is our preeminent awards. It's very well known across Canada. Yes. And we really focus on a lot of different attributes, a lot of different skill sets. Just to give you a little backstory, we have actually shifted the awards over the last 5 years to become more diverse and more inclusive.
Awesome.
It is great. It's really, I'm very proud of that because that was our vision, to see it be more and diverse. I mean, in every way, and inclusive in every way, like industry, ethnicity, regions across Canada. Right? It's just not Toronto centric anymore. We're seeing women from all across Canada winning this award. So it's really. It's satisfying. I'm so happy on how it's changed. We have the awards range from most powerful CEO to executive leaders to emerging leaders. Right, our emerging leaders are very important because that's our next generation. And then we get into specifics like science and tech, which is very male dominated, right, non-traditional. And then we added another one called skilled trades, which is very, very male-dominated as well. Right. So we really wanted to showcase these women in all walks of life, all career, to show that women can do whatever they set out to do, and to be these role models for the women that are the next generation. Right? That's so important that they're able to see that. And see what's possible for them. Yes,
absolutely. We need mentors. We need people to look up to. We need people to identify with. When I started the show, my mentor was Oprah. I know I'm going to meet her one day, but she was the one who I identified with, I related to. So we need these, whether they're tangible or not. We need to look up to people and say, okay, I want to model myself after this woman or this man. So it's very important, absolutely. And are nominations open now? Can people nominate themselves or nominate someone in the community? Okay.
Yeah.
And so where can they go? And okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's free to do that. Nominations are open until June the 29th. And you can self-nominate, or you can nominate an amazing woman that you know. And if you just go to our website, www.wxnetwork.com.
Okay, fantastic. I know a few amazing women who fall in one category or the other, or all. Because they just do so much, very, very much like yourself, Sherri. So, Sherri, I want to thank you so much for sharing a little bit about your journey and telling us about the award show. When is it going to be, when are the names going to be published, the winners' names?
That is yet to be determined, only because of COVID-19. We, things have shifted a little bit for us as far as, we're supposed to have the gala in November. Our gala is 1,000 people. I am highly doubting that will go from 10 people to 1,000 people by November. So we are still looking at that to see when we're going to announce the winners. Yes,
I can imagine there must have been quite a pivot for your organizations, right, in terms of COVID-19. And how have you been managing with all that?
Actually, we've been doing quite well, despite, we had to cancel our live events across Canada. We had them all set up for the year that I had to, we had employees that I had to obviously lay off because they looked after the events, so that was a challenge for us as well. So we have a small but mighty team, and if I didn't have them, I don't know how we would have got through this. We were able to pivot quite quickly. Probably within about a week and a half, we had a 4-part webinar series all set up, ready to go on Zoom. So we just worked really hard, long hours, pulling it together, learning about Zoom because we have never been virtual. Okay. So it was a challenge, but it was a great opportunity for us to get closer to our community, and it actually has really helped us to bond and engage them even more so than with our live events.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah. So it's true, Sherri. I mean, I think of my own example as well as others that I've spoken to. There are parts of COVID-19 that are good in terms of being creative and pivoting and kind of looking, well, this was something that I was forced to look at, but it's even better than what I expected. You know what I mean? So I'm hearing that is happening to you as well in the reality of kind of adjusting to COVID in your companies. Yeah, so I completely understand. Well, again, Sherri, thank you so much for your time. And before we conclude, can you just tell us how we can reach out to you on social media?
Sure. You want my handles? Is that what you're looking for?
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay, I had to ask my team because I don't know them offhand, but we're on Facebook.
Yes.
LinkedIn. You can find us on Twitter as well and Instagram.
Okay. Excellent. And I will also, when I put up the interview, I'll tag everybody with your social media outlets so they'll know where exactly to find you. So, Sherri, thank you again for your time. Really appreciate it, and congratulations on all your success. You're an inspiration, and I look forward to seeing you on the other side.
Yes, me as well. Thank you, Nikki. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Stay safe. Stay strong. You've been listening to the Nikki Clarke Show with our very special guest, Sherri Stevens. Please connect with her on social media and stay inspired. Have a wonderful day. Thanks so much, Sherri.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye for now.
Bye.